we're privileged to welcome Jacob Kennelly, Norwood Vice Captain, of course, and had a great, fantastic season. Welcome aboard, JK.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Right, Jacob, we'll go through a few things. So, picked up by Geelong, unlucky enough 2 years for the COVID years. Go through what that was like, the highs and lows.
It was obviously pretty surreal getting drafted. Something I've been working towards probably that last sort of under 16s, 17s, 18s at Norwood and Ross Trevor State footy. That's what I've been working towards, is getting drafted. And it's always a dream of mine growing up, and that's happened. It was obviously pretty cool. Spent 2 years there, as you mentioned. Met some amazing people, some amazing footballers, had some amazing experiences that I wouldn't have had anywhere else. Played some pretty good footy here and there in the VFL throughout couple of pre-seasons, couple of really strong pre-seasons, I thought. And I played a couple of pre-season games for the AFL side, but unfortunately wasn't able to crack into the team at all while I was there. Probably can blame it a little bit on sort of my final year there being a COVID year, but obviously Geelong's also a pretty handy side, or they have been for the last 15 years. So
not the easiest midfield to break into, JK.
While I was there, Mitch Duncan, Joel Selwood and all them running the wings, and it was kind of hard to get a look in, and unfortunately it didn't work out, but I'll never sort of give back any of that. I loved it, and it's helped me out in the long run. It will, and it has already. So I'm very appreciative.
Who were you following around in the midfield there? Who was your shadow?
I worked pretty closely with Menegola out on the wing. Paddy Dangerfield's also pretty helpful with the younger guys, especially with my my inside midfield craft. Cam Guthrie's one of the most underrated players going around in the AFL. He's an absolute superstar, and I got along really well with him. There was lots of one-on-one training there, especially throughout the midfield. And probably before I got to Geelong, I was more seen as an outside player, and I think it's been proven that those 2 years there, training with those guys has definitely helped me out in my inside midfield craft. So, it was unreal.
I think you got a pretty good mix there personally now of both inside and outside, JK.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mate, the game this year, heading back to Port Lincoln, playing against West Adelaide, what was that feeling like?
That was unreal. Probably the year before, back in 2021, I'd sort of dreamed about it. I remember talking about it with Mum on a car ride back on EP. I was like, geez, how cool would it be for Norwood to get back here and play a game in front of supporters back there, family and friends. And, for it to happen was unreal. And to get a good win like we did over there as well definitely helped. I think it was a very well run, very well executed weekend by the club, and obviously very thankful for West Adelaide coming over as well, playing against us. But to get back in front of the family and friends, I had a group of mates in the pocket who'd had a fair few beers, and kicked the goal in the last quarter and got around him a fair bit. So that was obviously pretty special.
Jacob, leadership side of things, it does seem to come to you pretty naturally, but you stepped up to the role big time when Matty Nunn got injured. Just go through, it wasn't only with the senior squad, go through the whole club side of it with the juniors and the leadership aspect in general.
Sort of my first year back last year, I wasn't in the leadership group or anything, but I think I've always sort of had that leadership mindset. I've always loved teaching people and instructing people, and I think it's one of my real strengths. I've been able to obviously jump up in the leadership group. Probably Twig invited me into it, start of pre-season, the year just gone, and by the end of pre-season I was voted in as vice captain, and that was obviously pretty unreal. I don't take that role lightly. I'm very, very proud of it, and
so you should be.
Absolutely.
Vice captain a big club like Norwood is unreal. I suppose from a club aspect, I think, I'm good mates with Michael Noel, the under-18s coach of the year just gone, and he invited me out a fair bit to the under-18s. I actually knew quite a few boys from the EP and Ross Trevor out there as well, so that helped. And by the end of the season, I was actually, felt very comfortable going out to 18s training and giving them a few tips here and there. And I was pretty gutted when I found out they had lost in the, was it prelim or, prelim they lost in. So, it's obviously pretty special. But, it's been a big year of learning for me in leadership-wise. I've had to step up a lot, and I think it's overall helped out my footy personally as well. So, I can't take that back, and I love it.
Great effort, mate. Mate, the team achievement obviously this year is quite a big one, but blocking for King in the grand final there, is that something that you guys have practiced?
We do. Definitely, especially forward stoppage, forward 50 stoppages. We do. I think we talk about it a lot because it's not something that you can sort of. You can train it, but it doesn't it's just sort of something that you do. Like, it's pretty easy just to stand in front of someone. It's more of a mindset thing, as Twig and everyone you just reiterate it to each other, lay a block, and everyone knows exactly what to do. It's pretty simple, just get in front of someone. And we had a fair few edits throughout the year that Twig had showed of blokes blocking. And I think towards the back half of the year, especially with Boydie's dominance in the ruck, we were able to sort of use our blocks a lot more and be a lot more proactive instead of hanging off or being really reactive to our opposition. Boydie allowed us to sort of get really proactive with those blocks, and obviously, I'd look to lay a couple here and there. Because I know when my teammates are probably in a better position than me to win the footy. So it was pretty cool that it paid off in that moment. And
it was interesting that you're saying on the practice, because you timed it superbly. Like, Cameron Craig's a good player, bloody good player. But he didn't quite get in the right spot, but geez, your timing was absolutely perfect. And North Adelaide, trust me, I ended up with a few of the North officials after the game. They were filthy that it was Matt, the King, that Matty Panos was the one who got through, saying how dare could we let Panos be the one to get through. So
certainly suck them into the contest a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, in that moment as well, I do feel for sort of Cameron Craig, and then being a defender in that moment is pretty stressful, and you sort of, you're just trying to hang on for dear life to your opponent, just not obviously give away a free kick. You're trying to as much as you can, and someone getting in the road can obviously sort of, hinder that a little bit, and it bought him enough space. I think both angles have captured it really well, and I think that if you look at the stoppage before that, just on the half forward flank on the wing, Nick Loudon does the exact same thing for Panos. It didn't pay off, but that's the stuff that happens every stoppage we try to anyway. So
worked out pretty well this time.
Last one, yeah, exactly.
Mate, your personal achievements this year, I mean, your elite running is obviously a strength of yours. I'm assuming that sort of came from that little bit of AFL experience at Geelong. 16.4 kilometres in one game is not a bad effort, mate.
I
may have done a bit of research there, Jacob.
Yeah, what's that, sorry?
I may have done the research there, mate.
Yeah, right. I've always been a good runner. I think it's something I've had probably since, sort of junior athletics and stuff back home in the country. Just used to run and play sport all day, every day at school and footy and whatnot. And, my old man was a pretty skinny young footballer himself, so I think I get that a little bit from him. And it's probably one of the main reasons why I actually got drafted back there in 2018 was because of my running ability. So it's always been sort of my strength, and I still probably don't get to use it quite as much as I'd like on a skinny Norwood oval, but and when I'm playing in the midfield, but it obviously it pays off at different times and can have a really big impact on the game. And I think when Adelaide Oval, especially on that bigger, more open ground, it actually paid off me a little bit more you had throughout the year during final series. So,
very good point.
Yeah, mate. Has there been any AFL interest?
No. I can safely say I haven't really talked to too many. I was on the Port Adelaide COVID top-up list this year, but nothing serious. So
if something did come around, do you think you're better prepared for the opportunity if it arises?
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely attack it differently. I'd come in wanting to play round one instead of sort of waiting. That's probably a bit to do with where I was at when I got there to Geelong. I was a young, skinny 18-year-old who, probably definitely wasn't ready. My body wasn't ready, but I sort of took that as, I'm probably a fair way off playing AFL. And by the time I got around my time was like by the time my body had built up and I was at the point where I probably could be playing AFL, it was probably too late. So, I just would, would be awesome to have another opportunity. But obviously, I'm also pretty happy playing here at Norwood. So, yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I find it interesting still the leadership side of things that, you followed at Ross Trevor from, I will be honest, the best junior leader I've had anything to do with Luke Valenti. It's, anything with Luke, that side of it. And then, because it is quite interesting that two outstanding leaders in such quick succession.
Yeah. Luke was definitely someone that I looked up to. When I got to Ross Trevor, he was probably the first bloke that actually talked to me outside of the boarding house, and pretty much because he knew that I was at Norwood under-16s that year. And, he's had a huge influence on me leadership-wise. He was head prefect at Ross Trevor. I was sort of one of his I was a house captain prefect, so I was in below him, and he
Talking there.
Don't know.
Sorry, you just dropped out there for 2 seconds there, mate. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I learned a lot from him. He was always captain of my footy side or captain of my school, like I said, and we're really good mates. He sort of took me under his wing when I first got there to Ross Trevor and Norwood, and I'd love to have him out playing for Norwood as well, but I'm still good mates with him and always will be. So.
Likewise.
He's a ringman fella, and I'll definitely take a little bit of my leadership ability from him.
Your leadership was a huge part of this flag. You move on to Harrison Wigg, who was the key link man for the Roosters in the first quarter. Your footy sparks came to the fore with your superb block of Cameron Craig. Look, it's something I've spoken about, and look, I just want to praise you. Your relationship with your grandparents, with Gil and Jan Hollenby, the photo of you hugging them on the victory lap is my favourite photo of the Premiership. Look, just massive credit to you that you see what's important, that where you put your grandparents number one after a game upstairs in the club. Massive respect. Thank you, mate. You're a gun.
Thank you. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Malcolm.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for giving us your time tonight, mate, and we really look forward to seeing you in the red and the blue next year.
I can't wait. Norwood 2023, let's do it, eh?
Let's do it.
Bloody oath.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.